What's up, family? Welcome or welcome back to Closing Open Wounds with Cleisha. I am yours truly. It is a beautiful day today, and I woke up with this thought on my mind. I don't have any notes with this, but I just want to speak from my heart, and I don't feel that this will be long because I'm going to get straight to the point. I want to talk about in our relationships how we have unexpressed expectations. Uncommunicated expectations. I want to talk about how these expectations put such a burden on our relationships, unknowing to the other people. You guys know I've been married a few times, and each time I've been married, I have learned something new about me. I have figured out what works and what doesn't work. And a lot of this is dependent on if you have the right type of partner. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the foundation first. Before we can talk about communication and expectations and uncommunicated expectations and anything, we have to make sure our foundation is secure. We have to make sure that we have a mature partner. We have to make sure that this person loves us enough so that we can better cohabitate. That's what this channel is about. That's what this ministry is about. You know, we talk about a lot of things. We talk about everything here. You guys are like my diary. Okay. You are literally my diary. And this is the things that I think about in the quietness. I am naturally, I feel like an introvert, but I hear now that there's a new term or a term that I didn't know, ambivert, if I'm even saying that correctly, where it's a person that's in the middle where, you know, we are introverted and sometimes we can be extroverted when necessary, but we always come to the center and we know we need to recharge, you know, and things like that. So wherever I fit in the spectrum, I spend a lot of time by myself in my thoughts, just processing where I am, where I've been, and where I want to go. I do want marriage. I do want to be married again. And I want it to be successful this time. And for that to happen, I really had to think about how communication plays a huge part in it. Now, primarily, I'm going to be talking about relationally, dealing with a husband or wife, you know, but this could go for any type of relationship, your friendships, you know, any kind of friendship or situation or anything with your family, your friends, anything. So many times we have these expectations and they're not communicated, and we expect the other person to be a mind reader. Now, keep in mind that not only do we not think the same, whether I'm a female, you're a female, we're not always going to think the same, but understandably that men and women don't think the same for the most part. Now, that is why God created us that way, because a man has what I need and I have what that man needs, and we are supposed to work together. You need relationships to make you better. A lot of times we think because we're on our own that we are the best, but you don't have anyone around to challenge you. You don't have anyone to buffet you. You don't to say that you are the most healed and you don't need anybody and you're the best person in the world, but you have no relationships around you. It's not true. A lot of time we separate ourselves because, you know, it's safer that way. It's less harmful. You can trust you. You know, you're not going to hurt you. And we build up walls. Been there. I'm slowly coming out of it. Okay. But our relationships is what sharpens us. Our relationships is what gives us a better worldview, a different perspective. I would consider myself to be very open-minded. I don't like to live in a box. I believe that people are the way that they are for many reasons, stemming from adolescence all the way into adulthood. There are reasons why people believe what they believe. And I respect that. I respect that. But when you're in a relationship with someone, you have to make sure that you communicate your wants, your needs, and your desires. I know one thing that I failed in my second marriage is that, and even in my first, I didn't always communicate what I needed. I grew up very timid, just low self-esteem, didn't want to ask for anything, low self-worth, or I just, was very humble. I didn't ask for much, low maintenance. And to a degree, I still am low maintenance. But I had a hard time communicating what I wanted. Even through high school, I did a lot of things to go along to get along, right? Didn't want to rock the boat. Didn't have a voice at all. I did not have a voice. So, teens, 20s, and 30s, people got away with a lot of crap when it came to me. It wasn't till 15 years ago or so, 10 years ago, actually, about 10 years ago, that I said, you know what, enough is enough. And I want the best out of life. I know who I am. I'm 43 now, so I definitely know what I want, what I like, what I don't, and all of the above. And in my marriages, in those first two marriages, I had a lot of expectations that I didn't communicate. And especially in the second marriage, it made me very frustrated. Now, towards the end of that marriage, I said, if I want to save this marriage, let me say something. And I did. And things still didn't work out. But ever since then, I have been honest with myself. I have been honest about what I need. I am honest about, and I've talked about this before, I'm honest about my love language, what I need. You cannot expect your partner to meet your needs if you haven't told them. They're not a mind reader. You have to say something if you want things to work. You can't be prideful. You can't be in your ego. You can't think that hopefully you have a partner that loves you and they will take your request seriously, because we've all been in situations where the other person just didn't listen. I told my ex-husband, that I didn't like yellow gold. I told him how I wanted to be treated. I told him my love language was physical touch. But he thought, buying me stuff and, taking me out to eat and all that stuff is great. That's not why we're not together. But I told him exactly to the T what I needed, how I interpreted love. You have to discuss your love languages. My love language is physical touch. Why is it physical touch? I did not receive that as a child. My mother was not affectionate with me. I don't remember her being affectionate with me when I was coming up as a child. I even asked my grandmother, I said, was my mom affectionate with me when I was little? And she was like, you know what? No. Now, to her defense, her growing up, she didn't even feel like her mother loved her, which was totally not the case. But for whatever reason, how my grandmother gave her love, it wasn't connecting. My mom ran away. She got addicted to drugs and alcohol at a young age. She was in and out of the streets. My mother suffered a lot. When I got of age and me and my mother had this conversation, I'm telling you, it made me see why she couldn't be there for me like I needed her to be. So I forgave her. I took care of her till her dying day. I served her as my mother, even though she didn't raise me. But I'm just giving you a reference point so people can't give you what they don't have. So it's not natural. It's not natural for some people to be affectionate, to have words of affirmation, to give gifts, to have acts of service, to spend quality time with you. Sometimes it's not natural, and people need to be taught. Now, of course, you have to have your words laced with grace when you are asking for these things, but you have to ask for them nonetheless. I told my ex-husband what I needed, what I wanted, and he continually did what he wanted to do. I remember telling him, if you're ever going to propose. I've never been proposed to. Out of all the times I have been married, I've never been properly proposed to. You guys know how I feel about that. Well, I'm better with it now, but you know how I felt about that. And I don't like yellow gold. So you can get me silver if you want to. I don't care. White gold. Okay. And guys, he just pops out a ring out of his pocket while we're laying down, a gold ring. And he didn't even ask me to marry him. And I told him. So, it it is what it is at this point. We're no longer together, obviously. But even though that instance didn't work out for me, I'm still proud to say that I asked for everything that I needed to feel love. And it wasn't, to me, it wasn't a lot. Now, to some people, let me talk to the women. Okay. Sometimes we think that when we ask our men for quality time or physical touch or for whatever, anything that we ask them, sometimes we think that, oh, well, it's easy for them. If I can do it, I mean, what's wrong with rubbing me? It's easy. What's wrong with spending time with me? It's easy. What I'm coming to understand is that even though it may seem easy to us, it's not easy for men. And let's just take the genders off. It's not easy for some people, even if it's a woman. If she didn't grow up with affection in her home, if she didn't grow up in love, if she grew up in survival mode, it's going to be hard for her. It may be hard for her to love you in the way that you need her to love you. It may be hard for a man to verbalize his affections for you. It may be hard. But if you're with the right person, if you have a strong foundation, if there's love there and respect, if that person doesn't want to lose you, they'll try. The right person will try. It may be small. And, we have to have patience and love, dealing with someone that is trying a new way of love, a new way of life. There are people, relationships are important because people are evolving right in front of you. And it's a slow process. When a caterpillar goes in a cocoon, we don't just sit there and watch it. And the times that we've seen them come out as a butterfly, the camera is sped up. The feed is sped up so we can just get to it. But it takes time. You have to have patience. If you love that person and they love you, there must be reciprocation, of course. But you'll be able to see it. Even if it's small, you'll be able to see it. We don't want any one-sided relationships. So if that person isn't even trying, or it has been years and nothing has really changed, or they love bomb you or gaslight you to make you feel like, you're tripping and your love tank is empty, then maybe that's not the person for you. It's the reality. We don't have so many years to wait for somebody to act right. You're not asking for too much. You're asking the wrong person. We've all heard that before. The right person will start to hear you. The right person will understand, especially if you have told them what you have endured all the way up until now. When you have that wagon, we talk about the red wagon and what you're carrying, what you're dragging in your wagon. When you've started to unpack it and say, this is why I'm like this, and this is why I act like this, and this is why I isolate myself, and this is why I don't ask for help. And you guys know. So if you have a loving person where you can bring that wagon to the forefront and they're slowly helping you unpack, then that's someone that you can have a future with. And they do the same, because we're all dragging something. You don't think your cart is empty, do you? You have something in there. We all do. No matter how much healing and growth that we're doing, which we should be doing, we are evolving every day as we should. There is always something we're dragging in that wagon. And God made us this way because on our own, we think we got it in the bag. It's when we come into covenant that lights are shined on areas that we didn't even know existed. You got some cobwebs in there. You got some dark places in there. You got some dust in there. Only when we come into kingdom covenants, different covenants, whether it be relationally, in our workplaces, in our friendships, any kind of ships that we have, that's when we see what's in the dark. That's when things are uncovered. We're not as grand as we think we are if we can't love the person that loves us, the person that is there for you, the person that you can depend on, the person that you can call. So I'm just giving you something to think about. If you haven't already, if you're like me and you need a lot of courage, and this is confirmation to you, speak your heart to the people that you love. Tell them what you need. And it's up to them to try to meet that need for you. You have to say something. Because if things don't work out, you're still part of the problem. You're still partly responsible. You can't get frustrated if you didn't say anything. You can't. It's not right. How can you? You never told them that you like flowers. You never told them that you like your hand to be held. As a man, you never told them that, sometimes you just need some space. It's nothing personal. You never told her that. You never told her about your childhood and what you suffered. And your father being addicted to alcohol, and, your mother being physically abused, and, anything that may have happened. Maybe you were mishandled. Maybe you were sexually assaulted. People don't know, and everyone needs something different. We could have gone through similar situations and still need something different. It is what it is. And if you're hyper independent, we talk about that a lot here. God help you if you can ask for anything because you don't feel like you should or you can. Do you guys know? I don't even know why I'm saying this, but I saw this in my head, so I'm going to say it. It's a little embarrassing, but being single, and don't get me wrong, I like my peace and quiet. Oh, I love it. Kids are grown. This is cliche 2.0. But do you know, at night, I'm so embarrassed. At night, sometimes I hold my own hand and I go to sleep. Did I just say that? Sometimes at night, I hold my own hand. I need what I need. You need what you need, and it's okay. It's okay. But you can't be upset if your partner doesn't meet your needs because you didn't say anything. So today, starting today, pray about it, think about it, how you want to say it. I want you to start communicating your needs. No more unspoken expectations. We're going to deal with it. And we're going to be better for it. I love you guys. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. You guys are doing amazing. I didn't mention this in my last video, but October is my birthday. And for my birthday, I want 500 subscribers. So I need your help. The Bible says, ask and you shall receive. I don't want your money. I don't want anything. I'm not panhandling. I'm not doing none of that. Only thing I need you to do is something you can actually do, and it costs you nothing. And that's just subscribe to my channel. That's it. Share this with your friends and your family. Come on. You guys been hanging with me for a minute. You know we got good content. You know we talking about real life stuff here. It's never a dull moment here at Closing Open Wounds. All right. But that's what we're doing. We're healing. We're closing wounds properly. So help me share this word with everyone that you love. I love you guys so much. I will see you in the next video. Take care.